My wife wouldn't tell me who was sending food and gifts to her work, so I investigated and found out what she had been up to during our marriage. This is a first, since in 10 years together there hasn't been a single jealousy-induced fight because neither of us are the jealous type. I was cheated on pretty badly by another person, and she knows this and knows I'm insecure about it. So, we've always been open about our friends and families to avoid misunderstandings, until she started to get all secretive about this specific matter. She stopped eating the food I cook for her because someone pays for her food now. The catch? There aren't any coworkers in her office. She does consultations at her own little one-person place, and everything else is managed off-site by the company she works for. Now, why am I making a big deal out of it? It wasn't a big deal until it was. I was super happy for her because maybe some client was so satisfied with her service that they sent her food in gratitude. It used to happen bi-monthly at best, and she would tell me things like, "Hey, this client sent me some Starbucks. Nice." Or "Wow, another client's mother made me a sandwich and some Jell-O." But then it became bi-weekly, and she stopped knowing who sent her the now expensive food. Nowadays, it's daily. She always returns my food to me when she gets home, spoiled because she didn't eat any. I don't make a big deal out of it, but I stopped making jokes like, "Hey, tell them to send some for me too." Because it started to annoy me that she doesn't eat my food and lets it go bad. I'm a pretty good cook, and I hate wasting food. It got weird when she started to show off that the food someone sent her was better, costly and restaurant made. It started as an annoyance about wasting food, but what triggered my insecurity was that one day, after she sent me the usual picture, I told her, "Surprise. I got ahead and sent you that from X place." She replied, all annoyed, "Ha ha, funny. I know it wasn't you." I asked her, "Who is it then?" Her answer? I don't know. So she doesn't believe it was me, but doesn't know who it was. The second catch? They always send her things that are pretty specific to her liking. I may be paranoid, but most items she gets are things she has to tell someone she likes, since it is not generic expensive food, but menu items catered to her palate or drinks prepared exactly how she likes them. She could be ordering it herself, but she denies it as if it would kill her to tell me. She knows I don't mind, I just don't want to waste food. If she's ordering food for herself, why doesn't she tell me? I told her it wouldn't be a problem since that way I can save food at home and won't wake up as early, but she still denies it and still doesn't know who it is. It's the first time I've received this type of treatment from her. Why be so secretive about some food? She knows it gets worse if she hides things like this instead of being just open about it, like saying, "It's some weird client obsessed with sending me food." She could have lied like that, and it would have been enough to stop me from asking her every time, "Nice, but who is sending you this?" Instead, she decided to be all mysterious and mischievous about it. Update 1. She's about to come home in an hour or so I'll try to talk to her seriously one last time before taking matters into my own hands. I don't like snooping, but most of you recommend it if I want some real answers, even if it means hiring a pie or following people around. I hope the possible update is uninteresting. Update 2. It went begrudgingly faster than I anticipated. I'm with a friend right now, asked him for some space, and tomorrow I'll be at my parents' place. Believe it or not, I'm not angry or destroyed or all that, I'm just sad and tired and want to puke. You are also not going to believe this. To the person who told me this is almost like a sitcom, what the heck, this is a freaking sitcom. You were right. You'll see why soon. I asked her some of the things some of you suggested I could say to her before starting my own investigation. I'm a calm person, so usually, no matter the topic, I talk about it without being rude. This is important because I don't want you to think that I screamed at her or something like that. I don't want you to picture me as a saint, but I'm as non-violent as a person can be. Her reaction was as bizarre as this whole situation. Long story short, or short story long, I asked her why she was accepting food from strangers, and she started verbally abusing me. Don't worry if you don't believe me, it started out of nowhere. It's like she exploded out of nowhere. Yeah, we fight like any couple, but she never abused or insulted me or my family. Again, this was a first. I guess I wasn't pressing enough or asking the right questions because I never got this reaction from her before. One of the things she screamed at me was something like, "Why the heck are you pestering me? I bet you never knew a freaking surprise in your whole childhood." No, scratch that, I know you never had a freaking surprise in your whole childhood, so now whenever I get a gift, you get all jealous. Is that it, right? Then she started a tirade on how my parents were terrible at raising me and everything. I told her that was unprovoked and that I just wanted her to be careful when eating outside, even more so if she didn't know where the food comes from. I'll repeat myself as many times as necessary, we never fought like this. In 10 years, she never screamed at me or insulted me like this. I told her to please not insult me or my parents because I'm just trying to talk. She screamed, "Then what the heck do you want from me?" And, guys, I told her the stupidest thing ever, to please eat my food. Or tell me whenever you are going to eat outside so I won't cook. Her answer? Then don't freaking cook for Pete's sake. I asked her to please stop screaming at me and told her that it wasn't like that. I was concerned that she was receiving food without knowing the source, and I didn't like wasting food. At this point, I was still acting as if everything was about her not eating my food. That whole interchange lasted less than 15 minutes, but it was enough to trigger her like I've never seen before in 10 years. Update 3. She was seeing an ex from a bunch of years ago. This person started to send her not only food but also gifts because they suddenly wanted to reignite things or whatever. But no, it wasn't sudden at all. They started talking like 8 years ago, and the gifts started a couple of years ago too. My wife got by curious because she, and I quote, wanted to taste the touch of a woman again, so they slept together multiple times over the years. Please don't misunderstand me, this isn't a post about that, I'm not hating anyone for their preferences. But you don't do that when you are married. Or better yet, you talk to your partner like, hey, I'm curious about this or that, can we do anything about it if it's okay with you? Something like that. Communication. I told her so. But I pressed for her to come completely clean. And you are also not going to believe this. After some more talking, she told me, you want clean? I'll give you clean. Sleeping with her ex triggered a craving for different people. She slept with a male coworker of hers in a past job like 5 years ago, slept with another male ex of hers, slept with a chick from a club, slept with a chick from that same job, and slept with her latest ex, all while we were already married. I asked why? Her answer? She wanted to feel wanted by everyone. Was I not enough? Hard no. Maybe if I could change the shape of my schlong on command, but that wouldn't even be enough because she wanted to try different bodies and stuff like that. Why marry me? I'm a good person and she wanted someone as stable as me. Why do that to a good person then? Grow up. I have needs. I know it's a big deal for you, that's why I never tell you. Tell me, as in present time. Yes, she was still in contact with most of her friends with extra bits, but more so her exes. Why not try everything she wanted, then date me, then marry me? She told me the stupidest thing, she was calling dibs on me. Guys, I didn't have any other lovers or anything. She was competing for me against no one. I told her, I'm gone then. Her answer? Have fun. What did I do to her to be treated like this? She said, nothing, but I'm seriously tired of pretending, having to hide, lie, and you pestering me about this stuff was the last straw. She told me that if I had never started to get weird about food, I would never know, and we could still be happy. I told her it isn't my fault. She responded, I know, but you ruined your status quo? Last question, then why act all mysterious with the food? If she had just told me, oh, it's from the company, or a friend, everything would have stayed the same. Her answer, freaking grow up. Please. What the frick happened to my wife? I was never treated like this. I now know that my trust for her was so big, I was blind to a bunch of signs. What signs? I still don't freaking know, but she said all that as if it was all under my nose. Why did she explode after 10 years? And why just after I started bettering myself for her? Why not before, or later for that matter? I will not post again nor answer anything. But thank you for your concern and support.